All right, and also from the new wave of Transformers Generations, this is a deluxe class figure. It doesn't look like it right now, but it is. And this is the MINICON Assault Team. You've got Wind Shear, Heavy Tread, and Runway. Now it's called the MINICON Assault Team because they've given them that name in the comics, and the way they gave it to them in the comics, I felt was a little forced. These guys are technically Ammonites, who are a separate sentient race of combining robots, transforming robots. That they've run across in, I think they've mostly shown up in More Than Meets the Eye. They have shown up in Dark Cybertron. But basically, like when they first meet them, they're about Transformer-sized robots. They're like, oh, well, we're multiple combiners. And they're like, oh, yeah, prove it. And they all separate into smaller robots. So, like, they're a bunch of, like, little short dudes. And they call the Ammonites. They're technically the bad faction. They've been fighting a different heroic faction for a while. World got involved. It was a whole thing. But it turned, and in the new issues of Dark Cybertron, it turns out that, like, not only can they combine to form normal-sized robots, but, like, kind of like the way they describe Devastator in the movies is, like, they can just keep combining into larger and larger things as more of them get together and combine it. They just combine, turn into what is needed. In this case, you've got Wind Shear as a helicopter, Heavy Tread as a tank, and Runway as a jet. But in the comics, they're a little bit more flexible than that. They turn into, like, thousands of them turn into a giant monster robot thing. And conceptually, it's pretty cool. So here are the toys. Here's Runway. We'll go ahead and transform Runway. And Runway and Wind Shear both look very feminine. There's nothing, I don't think there's anything that indicates gender on these guys. And I know that's a whole can of worms anyway in the fandom right now, apparently. But yeah, I think Wind Shear and Runway might be feminine-ish. Runway looks more masculine, actually, now that I'm looking at it. But you'll see what I'm talking about. So to transform him, you go ahead and pull the thrusters off. Bring the legs down like this. Fold these pieces up like that. And then fold the... I'm sorry, I guess you don't have to. I guess you could leave those down if you wanted to. But then you have the hollow legs. If you fold those up, that kind of fills in the legs. So yeah. There's also where you can also see the combiner mode hands there. Arms out like that. And then fold the cockpit down, and there is Runway in robot mode. And the cannon can plug in just like that onto his arm, and give him a weapon, and there's Runway. Heavy Tread. Ba-doom. Come on, lean forward. There we go. Heavy Tread is a tank. His weapon is plugged into his hands right now. We pop those open. Flip these side panels down. Gonna make us some feet. Has a monocle. I want that pointed out right off the bat. Has a monocle, which is cool. Legs, feet. Very basic, stumpy. Robot. And you can give him his gun. Heavy Tread. Runway. See, Runway doesn't like to stand. Probably would stand better if I left these down, but then you've got the hollow thighs. So it really is up to you how you want them. No, part of it too is the piece of paper he's on is kind of humped. Like that. Stop it. Okay. And then, of course, Wind Shear. Weapon comes off. Fold these together. Legs down. See your face up in there. Fold this back, legs down, arms out, and helicopter cockpit down. I guess you could, technically, if you wanted to leave these open, you could. As an X. Down. And the gun can peg in again onto the arm. And look, there you've got the MINICON Assault Team in robot mode. Chum-chum-chum. And they're small, they're basic. Somebody said they felt like knockoffs, and like some parts do feel a little thin and rubbery, but I think it's more due to just the smallness, the size of the parts versus the quality of the plastic. It may be a slightly different plastic, again, just because they're small and they want it to flex and not break on some of these little parts. But they don't feel nearly as cheap as I was worried and was led to believe they would feel. So I'm pretty happy about that. So, like, again, basic articulation, shoulders, hips, knees, and that's on probably jetway the most runway the most posable. So yeah, they're not very basic. Yeah, part of this is just he's not on a flat surface. He stands a lot better on a flat surface, no problem. The paper he's standing on is leaning a little backwards a little bit. He's not super stable. I'm not trying to like point out that one of his flaws is that he does fall backwards fairly easily, but he is much more solid on a fully flat surface. So yeah, they combine. Here, their individual forms are combined to form Centuritron, is the name given on the box. You just take all the weapons apart here, and we'll combine them. How does this work? Nope, not like that. Maybe this just goes in like that. Ba-ba-doom. And this attached somewhere too. Oh, here we go. No. Oh, right here we go, like this. So attach it like that. There's a super weapon for the combined mode. Just like that. And then, okay, so we're going to take this, flip this up. Here, come on up. Bring these pieces out and around, like that. Fold that up. And then fold this down. Flip these panels up. There you can see the combined mode fist. So you see he's kind of making the abdomen shoulder area. I think it's pretty obvious what's going to go on here. Yep, turn that around like that. And that's going to clip right up into here. You clip those guys together like that. And then wind shear, you bring this up like this, open up this, flip out the combined mode head. Just like that, the propellers sit behind it. Fold this piece like this, plug it in, lift these up a bit like that, and then fold the cockpit piece up like that. And it's going to peg in right here. Oh, come on. There we go. We should peg in just here, right in here like this. There we go. There we go. Push it in. This jet cockpit plugs in right there. So it's got a little bit of a hollow body. But shoulders. And there's the combined mode. Like I said, kind of hollow, but all in all, not bad considering what you're combining them out of. And then, of course, the gun can be held right here like that. And you bring that down a little bit onto the nose of the jet. Oh, snap back into place. No, no, no. Ah, the cockpit fell off, which is, again, that's the flaw in windshields, that the cockpit is just friction held on and wants to be a pain. Come on. There you go. Yeah, see, you can stay on just like that. Alright, now plug in again. There's got to be something different. I'm going to look at this. I'm going to look at the instruction sheet real quick. Let's see, there's got to be something different to it. Nope, apparently not. That is just how it's going to be. Okay, well, fine. That's how you want to be about it. That's how you're allowed to be about it. So go ahead and pop her back in. There we go. Nope, no, 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 no. You go. There we go. Right up in there. There you go. There you go. There we go. And that fills everything in a little bit better up in the shoulder wise. So yeah, it's not the most stable combined mode. It does have the propellers behind the head, which I kind of dig. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about them, but I like the way they fold up there. Oh, and you can bring the, once that's done, you bring the legs down, and then you bring the helicopter blade down. You can see that the wheel pegs in there on the back. And you can fold the legs up. And that holds everything together pretty securely. It does have a big hollow chunk in the middle, but you're talking about eraser robots who are designed to combine however they need to, whenever they need to. So I don't have a huge problem with that, because he does still look like a functional Centuratron here. Again, he was the one I was most excited for in the wave, and I think that ended up being Starscream once all was said and done. But not bad. But they're not perfect. I would have liked a less hollow torso, and maybe a couple things to peg together a little bit more smoothly. But all in all, he satisfies my little guys combined to form a robot itch, which is really all I wanted.